everyone, and welcome back to Art with Miss Choate. I hope you're having a wonderful week so far. I know I've been having a pretty good time with our perspective and all the other projects we've been doing. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be going off of that perspective idea, and we're going to be doing a little bit more complicated landscape with more lines added. And those lines are going to help give some depth, they're going to help give some visual interest. And like I told you before, I think it was a couple days ago, that you have to keep practicing an idea before you really get good at it, or before you even know whether you like it or you don't like it. Because if you just do it one day and stop, maybe it was good, maybe it wasn't. Will you actually remember it in a week, 2 weeks, a month? Probably not. So we're going to take that idea of the perspective and we're going to do a little more complicated version of it. So let's get started. So just like before, we're going to start with that horizon line. And I know we've been making it straight, but we could give it a little dip or a little bit of a hill. That's going to make it feel a little bit more natural. And I'm going to, last time I know I put it up high, this time I'm going to go a little bit lower. It's up to you. You could go, this is an area you could control. So I got my horizon line. And then yesterday we talked about that vanishing point. So I'm going to put the vanishing point over here, a little bit off center. And I'll make my road a little curvy. And remember, when things are close to you, they're bigger. When they're here, they're smaller. But I am going to have them run parallel. And now I'm going to think about what's on my horizon line. I'm going to put a building here. This is going to be a little bit more complicated. We're going to be thinking about when shapes become form. So form is a 3D object. And we're going to start with I'm going to do this in pencil because I don't want to make a mistake. We're going to start with a rectangle. So I'm putting a building on the horizon. So we're going to start with our rectangle. And then we're going to bring a line back into space. Well, first we'll do this side of the building. And then we're going to go up. We're doing like a shutter. And these stay parallel to each other. These should be parallel. So I got to drop that one down a little bit. And I'm going to, like I said, I want to make this a little more complicated, this building, this whole drawing. We're thinking about simple shapes. Now remember, parallel, parallel. This next one should also be parallel. These should all be parallel. And now I'm going to go up to the point of the roof. And then these should be parallel. Now remember, this one should also be parallel. They should not ever run into each other. Remember, parallel lines can never intersect. Put a little window. I'm thinking about like a farm. Maybe this is out in a field. And this is why I'm doing it in pencil first. I didn't want to make a mistake. Maybe there's a building coming off to the side. So again, we do another rectangle. And the roof goes up. And we don't see all of it because it butts up against this side of the building. We can put some doors here. Remember, this line should still be parallel to this line, to this line. All of that's parallel. Same thing. Windows should be parallel to this line of the building. Feel free to use a ruler. And now remember, on that horizon line, a lot of times we have like lots and lots of trees. So that's what I'm going to do here. Put lots of these. And then I'm going to think about the sun, and maybe I have it being partially blocked by a cloud. And I'm still kind of thinking about earlier when we were talking about cubism and these lines. All of these things relate to each other. Now that I have that, and I'm pretty happy with my scenery, I'm going to go in and I'm going to give that an outline. I do the outline everywhere because I do a lot of sketchy lines, so now I want it to be very definite. And to give my clouds that fluffy look, I'm having them overlap with each other, these lines. There's my bushes, and now I'll do my house. Once you have it all outlined, this is where we're going to start to have a little bit of fun with our colors and lines. So I'm going to start with the grass. This is going to be grass over here. And I'm going to start right up next to the black line. And I'm pushing my marker down to its side to get a nice thick line. You don't have to do that. And then I'm going to follow it, kind of like how we did those continuous circles. And we could change up the thickness of our lines. They don't all have to be that thick. I'm trying to keep it consistent, that space in between. And giving it some bumps and waviness that's going to give it some line texture, some, like, you're going to make it feel like it's grass. And really try to get up to that. You might have to go back and bring that line right up against the black one. Now, if you want to throw a little kink in and then continue to follow that, you can. Now we're going to go back in and kind of fix those little edges. And we're done with our grass area. Now I'm going to move on to the road. And remember, our lines should be thinner, and then they start to get thicker, so I'm starting to lean more on my marker. So again, thin, lean more on the marker, thin, lean more on the marker. And now we can go into those bushes. I'm gonna do a lighter green here. Just following that curve. Now you could play with your markers that you're using, maybe use thin markers and thick markers. You could kind of have some fun with that. I'm gonna have some fun here with my different curves. It's kind of like the trees are growing on top of each other, over each other. Have fun with the lines. And now I'm gonna do, I was thinking about it being like a barn. So I'm just gonna have, and I'm gonna go thinner on these lines. I'm gonna skip the windows. I'm probably gonna go back in and color those windows. Now I'm gonna go I have these going this way. Remember, keep them parallel. I could even do that. And now thinking about the roof. Now this could have also been, I can go and do some cross hatching going over areas if you'd like. I like that. Actually, I like that a lot. Maybe I'll do that on this one too, but oh, I forgot to do that tree. Now for the sun, keeping that same idea of the lines. And I'm going to do the sky. Blue lines going right across, but not going into the clouds. And you could change up the color too as you go. If you have a lighter blue and a darker blue, you could totally change it up. And then the last thing is going to be those clouds. And if you have a gray marker, that would be great. I have this colored or gel pen, so I'm going to do those same lines. And just like we did the trees, how we have them going into each other, we'll do that here. I'm going to try a different one. I'm not liking how that's looking. I guess they're clouds, so this isn't bad. So I hope you had fun with us today creating a new landscape. Maybe you did the same buildings I did, maybe you did different ones. And I hope you enjoyed it and maybe are wanting to try it again in a slightly different way. And like always, if you liked it, please hit that like button and hit subscribe. Please follow along. If you subscribe, you get daily notifications because I post these. I'm so good at it. Every day, 9 o'clock, it is up. So if you want to get notified, hit the subscribe. And remember, comment and tell me what you like, what you don't like. Do you want to see more pepper? What do you want? Let me know. And then lastly, please share this along. I truly believe the more we're making art, the more we're expressing ourselves, creating, maybe doing it as a family, maybe you do it alone, maybe this is your time to kind of like decompress, the better we're going to be. I mean, we're all in a very odd time, and art is a great way to cope with it. And even if you don't normally make art, even if this isn't you didn't think it was your thing, give it a shot. Or maybe you can pass it on to somebody who you think might need it. And I would really appreciate that because obviously as an art teacher, I think everyone can benefit from creating. So I hope you have a wonderful day and please join us tomorrow for Art with Miss Choate. Bye.